Hello, my wonderful students. We are in our textbook. And we are on page 101. So we are in our textbook on page 101. Up at the top of the page, we have words, and they are verbs, and these are verbs that have S at the end, but they don't always sound S. And over here, we have adverbs of frequency. So we're going to do those first, and then we will do the conversation. Okay, so the first ones we have are S. So these sound S. Eat, eats. Eat, eats. Write, writes. Write, writes. Bark, ruff, 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 that's what a dog does. Bark, barks. Bark, barks. Speak, speaks. So those are pretty easy. The next ones, the N sound is Z. Okay. So we have read, reads. Jog, jogs. Call, calls. Clean, cleans. They all end in S, but these sound Z. The last group is. Wash is. Oh, you are right. These have S and an E. So these are also a spelling rule. So we have wash, we add ES, washes. Wash, washes. Watch, watches. Dance, dances. And fix, fixes. The next group of words, adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. Always, always, 100%, 7 days a week, every day. For example, every day I always have 2 cups of coffee. Always. Never, never, 0. 0 days. 0, 0, never, never. I never eat meat. I never eat chicken. I never eat carne asada. I never eat bacon. Never. Usually would be 6 days a week. 6 days a week. I usually eat yogurt and fruit for breakfast. Usually. 6 days. Usually. Sometimes would be maybe 4 days. Maybe 3 days. I sometimes eat eggs. I sometimes eat eggs. Rarely, I also like to say seldom, but rarely, 10%, maybe once a month, I eat ice cream. Yes, rarely, and never. So we have always, usually, sometimes, rarely, never. So these are our adverbs of frequency, and we will be using them for our conversation coming up next. So now we're going to listen to the model.
Page 101. She usually studies in the library. Listen to the model.
Does Carmen usually study in her room?
No, she rarely studies in her room. She usually studies in the library.
Do exercises 1 through 6. You will hear the correct line after you speak. We'll begin. 1.
Does Linda usually eat lunch in her office?
No, she rarely eats in her office. She usually eats in the cafeteria.
No, she rarely eats lunch in her office. She usually eats lunch in the cafeteria.
And we're just going to do these together. Okay, so the next one is, does Alan always watch the news after dinner? Does Alan always watch the news after dinner? Now we have never, so that's the first word we're going to use. No, he never watches the news. We're going to be using this one here. He always watches game shows. He always watches game shows. Number three, does Diane sometimes read the National Star? I'm going to use never. She never reads the National Star. She always reads Time magazine. So we're using the opposite adverb of frequency. Number 4, does Henry usually wash his car on Sunday? And the answer is no. He rarely washes his car on Sunday. He usually washes his car on Saturday. Number five, does your girlfriend usually jog in the evening? No. She sometimes jogs in the evening. She sometimes jogs in the afternoon. Now I did that because there's not really an opposite for sometimes, because it's 50%. So sometimes 50% of the time she jogs in the evening, and 50% of the time she jogs in the afternoon. And the last one is, does your neighbor's dog always bark during the day? No, it never barks during the day. It always, because always and never, it always barks at night. Very nice practice.